If I have a black belt in this particular martial art, you can fill in the blank, does it go to another martial art? In other words, if I have a black belt in Taekwondo, can I walk into a Jiu-Jitsu school and say, I want to start at purple belt because I have a black belt in this martial art? Or you have a 6th degree black belt in Budo Taijutsu. Can you walk into a karate dojo and say, yeah, but I want to start at Shodan, 1st degree? People actually do that. I have it happen here fairly often. Someone from another martial art walks in with a black belt from another art and expects, sadly, to start at a black belt in our martial art. I can't imagine the hubris of ever doing that. Myself, having high-level black belts, I would never imagine dreaming walking into another dojo with bad etiquette and telling the sensei that I demand to start here. You start at a white belt. These do not translate from one art to the other. They never have. And I think there's something about perhaps the American Western mindset of the male where the arrogance to walk into a dojo and expect this privilege. No, that privilege has to be earned. It's not a right. A black belt can't move around from one art to the other. It's like if I was an actor and I just finished a Marvel movie, I don't demand to walk into Hamlet and do Shakespeare. One does not translate. Yes, you're both actors, but Shakespeare is very different than a Marvel entertainment movie. If I'm into sports, I can't be a golfer, a professional golfer at the top of my game and expect to walk into baseball or basketball and accelerate, even though they are sports. You might be a black belt in a certain martial art, but I can't imagine being a Taekwondo black belt and walking into a Jiu-Jitsu school and saying, yeah, I think I'll start at purple belt. How's that? Because I have so much training in my other art. No. Sometimes the ignorance is natural. We don't know this because the teacher has never told us. I'm telling you now, don't ever expect this to translate to another martial art. It does not. You always walk in with humility and start fresh as a white belt. It doesn't matter how much you know from another martial art. You always walk into a dojo with humility, respect, and say, I will start at a white belt. If the instructor there decides to place you because they see you have skills, that's very different. But you never walk in expecting to get to a certain level without putting in any of the effort. Now, teachers often ask me, what do you do when that happens? Because they're not sure what to do. I say, it's very simple. Have them demonstrate a couple of fairly difficult moves in your martial art. Can they do it? So if they have a black belt in karate, 2nd, 3rd degree, it doesn't matter, and they walk in here. Oh, I want to start at black belt at your martial art. Okay, why don't you show me some angling against some punches and then throw in a nonikudaki and do a ganseki otoshi from there and then do an ushiro kaiten up to your stance and kamae of your choice. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, I have no idea what you just said. Yeah, I know, because you're not a black belt in our martial art. They don't translate. So that's what I would suggest as a teacher, is just put them through. You can be the best kicker in the world, but you're not going to be able to roll on the ground with a jiu-jitsu black belt. It would be silly. Same thing here. If you have a Taekwondo black belt, that's wonderful. Remember, a black belt is literally just like a GED. It's nothing more. It's not a college degree. It's certainly not an MBA or a PhD. We have to, as martial artists, be teachable. If you are so arrogant, all of us, that you can't be teachable, that you think you know it all, that you're already the Yoda without being the Padawan and Luke moving up into that level after decades of training, then you shouldn't be in martial arts. You're just too good. Stick to typing, because the people that I admire the most are the ones that are here every day training, not the ones that talk about it, not the ones that type about it or comment or do whatever on the internet. They're the ones that are physically doing it. Those are my heroes and my role models. The highest level black belts that I know would never dream of walking into a dojo and expecting high rank at that particular school. So I hope that answers a question, because it is quite common. If you are a black belt, wonderful, you've done the work, the 4 or 5 years, but you can't translate that into another school. It does not give you instant mastery in another type of martial art. You have to start fresh, as I have done at least 6 times in my career. You start fresh, don't even talk about your rank, shut up and train, and see what the teacher sees, but don't expect anything. That is the height of arrogance and the antithesis of a true martial artist. I hope this helps with the question, and maybe in the future it will help us when we go to another school if we're brave enough to start another martial art. Sadly, most people, they're so arrogant that they can't even walk into a dojo because their pride, their hubris is so strong that they can't just let that go and be teachable to learn another type of style of martial art. Hey, have a great day or night wherever you live. Have fun at your dojo where you train. Is it good to bounce around from one style to the other? That's another video for another day. But if you decide to go to a new dojo, never ever go in with arrogance. Go in with humility, start at white belt, don't even talk about rank, and communicate with your teacher and see what happens. See you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.